Can somebody talk to me? Can they?
Stanley, the founder of our hotel, started up a backup system for lighting, which was acetylene gas lanterns in every room, and there was a leak of acetylene that built up in room 217. That night, our head chambermaid, Miss Elizabeth Wilson, entered room 217 with the lit candle to turn on the lights, and she set off an explosion. We lost 10% of this hotel from that explosion. They found parts of this hotel half a mile south of here, and a local church service in town said in the paper the next morning they saw a bathtub fly up in the air. And Miss Wilson survived it. You see, Miss Wilson actually shot from the entrance to room 217 down to the first floor where she landed in the dining hall and survived. They had to take her that night to the nearest hospital in Longmont on a dirt road during a flood to save her life, though. And Miss Wilson was in a coma for 2 days. When she woke up, Miss Wilson came back to work at the Stanley about 18 months after that. And Miss Wilson worked here from 1913 till 1950, when she was 90 years old. And we think Miss Wilson still works here today because we believe Miss Wilson is the spirit that is present in room 217. Everything we know about Miss Wilson in 217 to this day is very helpful. She's actually not that scary. The most common thing that happens is that people wake up with things tidied up even though they left them dirty through the night. People have said that they will find their clothes unpacked and folded and put on the bed. We've had people find their shoes rearranged. I even had one person say they woke up to find the bed made around them so they couldn't get out of it when they woke up in the morning. So I always like to say that she is creepy but well-intentioned. And Miss Wilson is still here to this day. Another story about room 217 goes back to 1974 when Stephen King and his wife spent the night in this room. You see, September 30th, 1974 was going to be the last day we were going to be open for the entire year. And Stephen King and his wife, the only two people to stay in this hotel for the night. So we put them in the presidential suite, room 217, this room. Now, and they were alone in this entire hotel. After a night at the restaurant and at the bar, Stephen King was a little nervous about this hotel, so he actually came back here to go to sleep. And in his dream that night on this bed, Stephen King said he had one of the worst nightmares of his life, that a fire hose from the hotel was chasing his son through the hallway till it started constricting his son and trying to kill him. So King woke up terrified, sweating, and he went out to the balcony in front of this room to have a cigarette. And by the time he was done with that cigarette, Stephen King said he came up with the outline for the novel The Shining in his head.
When you walk into the lobby of the Stanley Hotel, you step back in time with its Georgian Revival architectural style, the 1906 Stanley steamer on display, and you might feel like you're not alone. 8-year-old actress and Estes Park resident Madison Mollers and I meet up with Callie Sherrill for a ghost tour.
All right, guys, now we're going to go in the music room. Come on in.
Callie is the Stanley's resident paranormal investigator. First stop is the music room, where Mrs. Stanley's Steinway piano is on display. Nothing strange in here. But as Madison and I sit on the bench in the billiard room, trying to stay quiet as women would have in the early 1900s, we both get a strange feeling.
Relax.
Are you scared?
No, it just feels weird being by the door.
But one thing to keep in mind is there's nothing to be scared of at the Stanley Hotel. We do have a lot of spirits around here, but they're pretty friendly spirits.
That's good to know as we head into room 217, the Stephen King suite.
This is where Stephen King spent that one night, where he had so many experiences that he was able to go home and write The Shining. He tells us that one of the things that he witnessed is what he believed to be a ball taking place in that McGregor room that we were in downstairs. He also said that he saw a little boy and a little girl. They were playing ball. Now, he and his wife were the only two guests staying in the hotel that night. There were no families, there were no children. So who were those kids playing ball?
Come and play with us.
His vision of kids inspired the creepy Red Rum Girls in the book he wrote in just over 7 days after his one-night stay.
Everything has to be perfect.
While filming Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey didn't even make it through one night in this room that's said to be haunted by Mrs. Wilson, a chambermaid hurt in a gas lamp explosion.
I had guests who have reported being made into the bed. Like they're in bed and they actually feel the covers coming up over them as if the maid is making the bed over them.
On the grand staircase, you might smell Mrs. Stanley's rose perfume and notice the 4 different spindles that signify the 4 seasons and elements.
Mrs. Stanley always wants you to remember when you're at the Stanley Hotel that you are always surrounded by the best of the seasons and the best of the element.
As we walk down the dimly lit halls, things start to get, well, let's just say weird for us. In room 428, the alarm randomly went off.
There's a temperature change in there.
Madison also checked out the closet that was a good 10 degrees cooler.
Kind of makes you wonder if maybe somebody came out, hit the alarm, and then darted back into the closet where he likes to hide.
At room 401, Jeremiah's hair suddenly stands on end. There are a lot of reports of Lord Dunraven, the original Landover, pinching ladies' derrieres in this area. Down in the employee tunnel that is still used today, as we check out the original tunnel, we snap 2 pictures back to back. In the first one, there's nothing. In the second, something shows up on the left side of the tunnel.
We're going to head down to the concert hall now. In my opinion, the concert hall is probably the most haunted location on the entire grounds. You ready for that, Madison? Awesome.
You might see Mrs. Stanley in what was her VIP box in the balcony.
And I have seen what appears to be the figure of a woman who stands up out of a chair. She places her hand on the railing and she leans out into the room.
And during our interview,
They're trying to open the door, is it?
I keep thinking that it's people trying to get in.
Or is it wind? That sounds like little footsteps.
Yeah, that is little footsteps.
Welcome to the Stanley.
The Stanley Hotel has a new photo to help support its haunted reputation. A man from Houston recently visited Estes Park and, well, he took this photo in which he sees something paranormal in the panoramic of the lobby. He says he didn't see anyone standing in the grand stairwell when he took the photo. We posted the story on our Facebook page this evening. In less than an hour, it had been shared several hundred times, and dozens of people posted their own images. You have to check them all out. Some showing the staircase and saying their photo doesn't show the same thing as the man from Houston saw. You can check them out, add your own, share your story on Facebook.
It's creepy.
I know. Yeah. Go to the Stanley. It's a beautiful place no matter what.
Yeah.
Like that everybody knows your story that comes into this hotel? Right. Sorry.
Lucy, I'm going to take